If you own a UTV or any other vehicle with the winch, this video is for you. Our issue today is we've used this winch several times, and every time it's wound and unwound. And as you look here, not every time has someone made sure that it's wound up evenly. At this moment, there are some spots where when we pull it out, it is not unwinding all the way because the cables are catching on each other because they didn't wind evenly. So we're going to go ahead and unwind it to start as far as it will go. Alright, if you look right there, you can see this is our binding point where it's starting to wrap back up. It looped around right here. So what we have to do is get this loosened up. Hopefully it will not involve taking anything apart, but we have to get that unbound because as of right now, that is as far as we can unwind it. Now, this is a somewhat tight space to reach down into, but I will do the best I can to keep it visible. First and simplest option is just to see if we can, and see, already having a little bit of success, get that cable loosened up on this side. And already this looks like this is going to work. As I'm working at this, if you have not already, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Help support the work on the farm and keep you up to date on future videos. As well as letting other people know this is some good stuff we've got and that you want to share it with them. Alright, now see, that is getting that loosened up. Now what this is doing is, even though it won't show up on the video, these others are the ones that are immediately after it, and they are working to loosen up. So that already got that loop worked out. Now this next step is just to get it carefully and slowly completely unrolled. Another thing, if you're working in here, you want to make sure you keep your fingers clear of the cables. I'm going to be working tight in here to make sure that it unrolls, and you have to do that. But you want to make sure you keep your hands clear because they could get caught up in here and you could break a finger or even lose one very easily if it gets caught wrong. Alright, now you can see we've unrolled it completely, and now for the most exciting part, getting it rolled back up. It is a little tedious, sorry about that, but it's something we have to do very carefully, slowly, methodically. You want to make sure that this gets wound up correctly so that it doesn't bind, nothing gets caught, and you have the full use of your entire cable, as well as not getting any bends in it that could interfere with using it later and shorten its life. These cables will last a long time, but you still want to get the maximum amount. One other note, as we are using the battery to wind and unwind this, you want to make sure you don't run your battery out. So we're going to go ahead and start the engine. So you're going to hear that running while Noah's winding it up. We'll just work through this, watch as we wind it easily. It just got a little twisted as it's winding up, so we just pause for a moment, make sure everything's straightened out. Okay, now as you can see here, when we pulled it off, I just kind of dropped it, which is not actually the best thing to do because it started to twist up a little bit as we're going in there. So the best thing is, once you get it out like this, you want to go ahead and stretch it out. Noah, if you could go ahead and grab the end and pull it out there, please. This will help with getting it smoothly in there, so that it will go correctly. Because some of the twisting that happened, it actually did that because it was not properly closed in there. So now we got that done, we'll go ahead and continue. Okay, we're back to winding it up, except one little thing was, and it may not show up on camera where you can see it, but as we were working out the positioning of the cable that was outside on the ground, I accidentally loosened up a little bit, and the cable shifted to where it might be binding again. So we're going to have to bring it back out and rewind it just a little bit. You don't have to necessarily do it that specific every time, although that is what is best. So we're going to rewind just about 2 or 3 loops and make sure that everything is in perfectly this time around. We're almost there. All right, and there we have a nearly perfect wind. As you can see, there are a couple spots where it got off, but really that part is great for appearance, but it is not too important that you have that perfect line going back and forth unless you're actually going to be showing this on some global video that lots of people may be watching from all over the world. Oh, okay. Well, I'm still human. But the point is that it's all wound on there tightly, that the only overlapping is in going the one direction so that there is nothing binding, and we will now be able to easily open and close this. There were a couple kinks in there that may or may not have come up on camera, but this being in the right position can help to work out those kinks as well. All right, now that we've got the winch up to full functionality, got the full range out of it, I want to thank you all for joining us and watching, and I especially want to thank my son Noah for his great help here, and I appreciate that he did not take any of my fingers off.
Or did I?
Oh, okay, there they are. I found them. They're back. If you haven't done so yet, please be sure to like and to subscribe the video and share it with others so we can get the word around about our farm. All right, thank you very much.